The moment three armed men in tactical vests stormed my farm, waving fake badges and threatening to throw me off my own land, I knew something was off. But what they didn't know was that my older brother is the sheriff, and when he showed up, the entire HOA's fake empire came crashing down. It started like any other morning on my 120-acre farm. The sun was just breaking through the clouds, throwing streaks of orange and gold across my north pasture. My goats were bleating for feed, my border collie Scout was already on high alert chasing shadows, and I had a hot mug of black coffee in my hand. Life here was simple, steady, and mine. Or so I thought. That peace shattered when I found a bright orange notice nailed to my gate with 6 inches of rusted steel. Emergency repossession notice, it read in bold black letters. Vacate by Friday or face forcible removal. Greater Ridgewood HOA Mandate 14D. Violation fine $5,250. Signed, Linda Monroe, President, Greater Ridgewood HOA. The problem? I wasn't even part of Greater Ridgewood. My land sat just outside their jurisdiction. Always had. My father and grandfather had farmed this soil long before half those cookie-cutter homes in Ridgewood were even built. I tore the notice down, muttering under my breath. Some scare tactic, probably. But half an hour later, I heard the crunch of gravel. A matte black SUV rolled up my drive, windows tinted. Out stepped 3 men dressed in cargo pants and tactical vests, each stamped with Ridgewood Compliance Division. One had a badge, another carried a sidearm, and the third, clipboard in hand, was already barking orders. Sir, under HOA Emergency Protocol, Municipal Code 8.4.67, we're here for perimeter verification. No warrant required. I blinked. Show me that code. The man squinted at his phone. County Annex 3. County Annex, what? I snapped. Scout bristled beside me, teeth bared. My blood was boiling. These weren't county officials. They weren't deputies. They were trespassers. Armed trespassers. You're impersonating law enforcement, I told them flatly, and that's a felony. They exchanged uneasy glances, but Clipboard Man puffed up his chest. Resistance will be noted. Wonderful, I smirked, because I love paperwork. I snapped photos of their badges, their plates, and their SUV, then blasted it across the local neighborhood forum with the headline, Fake HOA Militia Raids Farm. The comments exploded. Neighbors shared horror stories, random inspections, bogus fines, threats of foreclosure. Old Bill Robertson swore it wasn't an HOA, it was a cult. That night, I called my childhood friend Steve Lopez, who worked at the county clerk's office. He dug around and confirmed my suspicion. There was no registered HOA in my township, no annex, and no authority to enforce anything outside Ridgewood's tiny suburb. Someone had forged county documents. But that didn't calm me, because I knew what I saw. Armed men, tactical gear, and survey flags popping up in my pasture the very next morning. Someone was planning a land grab. So I made one phone call that would change everything. Sheriff Marcus Harper, my older brother. Marcus had 20 years of law enforcement under his belt. No nonsense, straight shooter. He listened quietly as I vented, then said simply, "If they're impersonating officers, it's a felony under Penal Code 538D. Don't worry, little brother, I'll be there." An hour later, his cruiser rolled up my drive, lights flashing, emblem gleaming. The fake officers froze. Clipboard Man stuttered, "Sheriff Harper, this is an HOA enforcement action." Marcus cut him off like slicing through glass. "HOA has no police powers. You're in violation of Penal Code 115, impersonation of law enforcement. Step away from his fence, now." That's when she appeared. Linda Monroe herself, HOA queen, pastel blazer, oversized sunglasses, smug smile plastered across her face. "Sheriff," she purred, "we have emergency authority." "No," Marcus said flatly. "You have forged documents and a lot of nerve." Deputies swarmed in, cuffing clipboard man, confiscating the fake badges, weapons, and IDs. Neighbors gathered, filming on their phones. Within minutes, the live stream went viral. "HOA or private army?" one caption read. Linda's smile faltered. She tried shoving a laminated permit at Marcus, but he tossed it on the hood of his cruiser. Better luck with that in court. That should have been the end of it, but I knew it wasn't. Because the very next morning, a drone buzzed low over my barn roof. Surveillance. I tracked the signal. It led to a vacant lot owned by Monroe Family Trust. That's when I went on the offensive. With Steve's county records and Marcus's official reports, I filed a full-blown RICO complaint in federal court. Racketeering, extortion, and impersonation of law enforcement. On the day of the hearing, news vans lined my driveway. Reporters swarmed. Neighbors showed up in solidarity. And there stood Linda Monroe, flanked by 3 high-priced attorneys, still smirking. But when the judge, herself a Simmons Valley native, reviewed the forged documents, she slammed her gavel. "These are forgeries. Count 1, impersonation of peace officers. Count 2, attempted extortion. Count 3, conspiracy under RICO." Linda's smirk crumbled. Her lawyers scrambled. One by one, her enforcers flipped, pleading guilty in exchange for lighter sentences. Monroe wasn't so lucky. She was sentenced to 10 years in federal prison. Her lieutenants, 5 years each, plus restitution to every victim they extorted. As deputies hauled her away, I stood on my porch, arms folded. Neighbors cheered. Reporters clicked cameras. Marcus gave me a nod. The HOA came with fake badges, forged decrees, and threats. But they forgot one thing. I wasn't standing alone. Now, they're not patrolling neighborhoods. They're waiting for sentencing. And I'm still here, on my farm, where I belong.